Foundation? What's up, Foundation? What's up, Foundation? Man, it's me, your big partner, Tony. Man, God been working on me, man, since I was born. And don't forget, man. I represent Jesus Christ. What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Man, it's me, your big partner, Tony. Man, back again. Yeah, back again. Oh, shoot. I put out a video a couple of days ago about, the demographics of dudes coming to the yard. And I was trying to read something. But now when you have, dudes coming to the yards that are Crips and Bloods, but are either Mexican or white. Y'all seen the video, just put out a couple of days ago. Anyway, today I was looking at some of the comments, and one of the comments in the video I latched on to. And this was the comment right here. Let me show you the comment. Now this right here is a good question. When I read this, I said, you know what? I got to speak on it. And as you can see, he said, why the blacks don't get on the blacks that's from a Hispanic gang? Is it because they scared or just don't care? Man, that's a heck of a question. And what you put at the end, I got to speak on it. But yeah, there it is there, y'all. Okay, now, I left it. I made a little small video. You can see it left it for a while. And that was a good question. That was a very, very good question. And I know it was asked because a lot of times when you hear people speaking on the politics in Cali prison system along this line, because a lot of this has been spoke on before, you don't never hear about how the blacks have taken off on the Mexicans, because you never gonna see a black dude come to prison and be a part of a white organization. Not gonna never happen because the whites not gonna accept it anyway, you know what I'm saying? So that ain't gonna happen because most of the white gangs in prison are based off race. And of course, if you're black, how you gonna be a part of the white boy get out? Not gonna happen. But anyway, you don't hear a lot about blacks taking off on the Mexicans when a black dude come to the yard and he's part of a Mexican gang. You just don't hear that spoke about, you know what I'm saying? So it leaves you to wonder, is that a thing? And I can tell you, yeah, it is. It is a thing. But now, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, not gonna lie. I'm not gonna put it out there to make us look good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put it out there to make them look good. I'm gonna put it out there what it is. And I'm gonna put it out there the truth, and however you take it, whatever it is, you can make whoever you want to make look good, or you can make whoever you want to make look bad. But I can honestly say it's not as important to blacks as it is to Mexicans. It depends on what prison you in. It depends on what level of yard that you own. And it depends on the type of dudes that's on that yard at that time. Now, like I can honestly say, when I was going through YA, it was a lot of black dudes that was in YA with me that was from Mexican gangs. You know what I'm saying? A few names like Big Spanky from Hickory Street Watts. Big old fat black dude. Big Spanky, you know what I'm saying? He from Hickory Street Watts. Nobody trip on Big Spanky. Another dude like Scooter from F-13. This is one of the hardest fighting dudes, boy, I ever seen right here, boy. Scooter from F-13, black dude. Light-skinned, hazel, greenish-like eyes. But yeah, Blackie from 18th Street. I was in Y with them cats, and at the time when I was in Y, it wasn't no issue. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't. Now, years later, when I got to prison and seen how they politics was going. Now, first off, I'm not gonna say that in every YA that it happened and it wasn't no issue. I can't tell you that because I wasn't in every YA at every moment of the day. You know, I'm just saying the YAs that I was in at the time, it wasn't no issue. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, when I started coming to prison and seeing the racial disparity, how the essays was going about it, I'm like, oh, so this is a thing, you know? And so I'm the type of person, I'm tit for tat. I am tit for tat. So I'm like, okay, well, dang, if they tripping, then we need to be tripping. So I was on some like, well, okay, if I felt we need to be tripping, then I'm gonna trip. And I did a couple of times. One of the last riots I was in Lancaster, and I told y'all seen the video. When we plotted this one, when we went out on the yard to get at the essays, when we was grouped up talking about it, I purposely told the homies, I'm like, you know, I said cuz and all that. I say, look, man, when we get off, I say I'm getting that black dude right there. I cannot remember exactly what Mexican neighborhood he was from, but I know he was running with them. And I cannot remember how long he was on the yard before, you know what I'm saying, before we kicked the ride off. The ride wasn't kicked off because of him, though. Don't get it wrong. The ride wasn't kicked off because of them. The ride was kicked off because of some prior stuff that had happened a couple of weeks before that. But now, since we was going to take off, I made it my business to tell, you know what I'm saying, homies, I'm like, hey, man, I'm getting him right there. I want him. So, whoever y'all gonna get, cool, but I'm getting him. And that was and I wanted him specifically because he was a black dude, but he was running with the essays. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, shoot, if it was the other way around, they would go in attack mode. So I was always on, okay, well, shoot, it was good for the goose is good for the gander. But now I can honestly say, even though this was years and years ago, before we got to the yard to kick the ride off, I hadn't heard no talk on the yard about, hey man, it's a black dude on the yard, man. He running with the essays, he running with the Mexicans. I didn't hear that talk. It's just that morning when we came out and I seen him, I'm like, oh shoot, I'm gonna get him. Yeah, I got him. So everybody was like, boom. So yeah, I cannot sit here and 1,100% honestly say that it was a thing with us, but I have, yeah, it has been confrontations between the blacks and the Mexicans because it was a black on the yard that was running with the Mexicans. It has been confrontations, but I can honestly say I don't think it was as important to us or as serious to us as it was to them. I believe we reacted to it because how they was reacted to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, well, y'all gonna get it to homies. You know what I'm saying? The Mexican homies, that's Crips and Bloods. Okay, well, we gonna get it to blacks that run with y'all. It has happened in certain prisons, but now can I honestly sit here and say that it was an automatic on site when a black came up there that was pushing the line with them? No, I can't say that. I'm not gonna sit here and say that. Can I sit here and say that there has been confrontations because a black dude was on the yard that ran with the Mexicans? Yeah, I can say that. You know? So the question that the dude had asked was a good question, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, it's not a fear, it wasn't no fear thing. No, because no, it wasn't no fear, blacks, no, it wasn't no fear. It was more, to me, it was more so of a, man, we don't care, you know? That's to me. That's what it was to me. It was more so of a man. We don't care. But we on certain occasions we made ourselves care because they was making they self care. If more along the lines, oh man, okay, if a Mexican can't be on the yard, he a crip in the blood. Okay, well then black dude can't be on the yard and he run with y'all. So that's I hope that's the answer. So like I say, to answer it flat out, it wasn't a fear thing. It was a more so of a we really don't trip on that thing. And when we did trip on it, it was because they was tripping on it, So yeah, that's how that went, man. So anyway, that's a real quick video. I hope I answered your question. I hope for other people who've been wondering about that, I hope that answered their question too, man. Anyway, I know y'all been wondering, man, why Tune ain't speaking on a lot of that stuff going on in social media about these so-called spaceships and Borisov and Oumuamua and three-eye Atlas, and now they got one called Swan. All this coming into space like the aliens have landed. Man, listen. Do I believe in aliens? Yes, I do. Always have. Do I believe aliens are out there? Yes, I do. You know what I'm saying? But as far as me jumping on here, say, hey man, they here. They have arrived. I'm not going to do it. You not listening to YouTube and social media, man, bump that. You know what I'm saying? They'll put anything on social media. I don't believe 90% of what I hear and see on social media, man. They gonna almost have to almost land in my front yard for me to believe it. And when that happens, I'll be one of the first to say, hey, they're here. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, in the meantime, between time, man, tell the people you love them. And don't forget, homie, I represent Jesus Christ. I'm out, y'all. Peace.